Hey everyone, Lisa here from Happy Zazzling. Lately, a lot of people have been asking me questions like if I can take a look at their stores and give them feedback, or if I can manage their stores for them, or if I can look at their stores and tell them what to change so that they can start making sales, what kind of products are popular, and all these kinds of questions. So I want to start out by saying I'm not a professional consultant or marketer. That's not what I do. I'm just like you guys, always looking for what the next trend is, fad is, what products are going to sell the best. My goal of this channel is focus more on teaching you guys how to make products. I don't look at myself at all like a professional marketer or consultant, or to be able to look at someone's store and tell them what they're doing right or wrong. Really, that isn't even possible. I'd have to go in there with their password, and even with that, I'd really not be able to tell you much, as every store sells different things. That being said, I do have a lot of stores, and I'm a silver seller. I'm not at the top of the Zazzle sellers list, but I'm also not at the bottom. Each shop seems to have a couple items that sell, and many that don't. I think if you want detailed answers like that, you need to use a program that will analyze your site and the sales for you. I will list them down below in the description. As you all know, I've been a beta tester on the soon-to-open site, Snuggle Hamster Designs, and they will have some tools that will help you guys analyze sales and stats and niches, and there's other sites that do that stuff as well. Those tools would be way more useful for you than me taking a look and just throwing out my opinions. I always joke on this channel that I'm not an expert at anything, but I know just a little bit about everything. Zazzle-wise anyway. And again, this channel is more about giving you the knowledge on how to make products, and that is where my knowledge lies. But in this video, I'll talk about the things that I have noticed that have been helpful for me in my stores, and for some of my friends who use Zazzle too. The last year has been really hard for everyone. Everybody I talked to who does Zazzle had a really hard time this year. I know my sales dropped dramatically the last year. It seems like when I talk to people who have been on for a year or less, they've made no sales or very few, and people have been on Zazzle for years saw their sales massively drop. I don't know what Zazzle changed, or was it something Google did, or maybe the whole COVID crisis and the wars around the world and everything going on in the world knocked out the economy. I'm not sure. My theory was that when Zazzle made all the collection changes, their focus switched from just any popular products to the event planning, especially weddings. It would make no sense for Zazzle to make changes that would hurt their sales, but maybe switching their focus to event planning collections made them more money, but caused a lot of us artists and photographers to lose money. This is just my theory, but that being said, I noticed that when I talk to anybody who does print on demand in general, that their sales are down across all stores. So I'm really not sure. Tell me your theories below if you've thought about this. I bring this all up because I know people are really stressing right now. I see it on the community forums and the comments under the videos on my Facebook group, and the messages people are sending to me. Anywhere I read discussions about print on demand, everybody's saying, where's the sales? Where did they go? And I feel the desperation in some of the people's messages when I talk to them personally. I've also talked to people who have had successful shops in the past, and they all saw big drops in the last year or two despite doing all this extra work, like making cover photos and videos and promoting on social media sites. It can be really frustrating. And doing all those things actually costs us money. So to pay for mock-up sites and editing sites and AI sites and upscaling sites, it's hard enough on our wallets, but then to take a decrease in sales is like a double whammy. So don't feel like you're alone. This seems to be happening to a lot of people. If you're very successful right now in any of your POD shops, please feel free to share down below why you think that is so. So let's get into this. This is what I've noticed works. So I know that the obvious things here are events such as weddings, which of course get you huge sales, huge commissions, but it's such a competitive thing. So I'm going to narrow it down a bit more than that. I am more of a quote-unquote my sales add up kind of a sale more than a big commission on each sale kind of a seller, if that makes sense. So 1, personalized items. As much as I love putting drawings and photos I've taken on products, I look at those products as more of a hobby. And not that I don't sell any of these, I do, but the sales of these aren't as grand as the sales of the personalized products. Honestly, that is what most people come to Zazzle for. And you might be thinking, how can I make any profit on one-off sales? But when it comes to personalized items, you can think in bulk too. Think of things like baby shower buttons, for example. One of my biggest sellers. You only make like 10 cents a button, right? But when people buy them for baby showers, they buy a mom to be, grandma to be, auntie to be, godmother to be, big sister and brother to be, dad to be, grandpa to be, on and on. So they're going to buy buttons for each family. And if you have a couple people that do that each day, the sales add up. That's what I meant above by I'm a sales add up kind of a seller instead of a big commission on each sale kind of a seller. Don't forget you can use different languages too. You can put grandma, nona, abuela, think a little outside of the box. So number 2 is wedding cards. And I don't mean like congratulations on your wedding. I mean ones that people will buy in bulk. Like, will you be my maid of honor? Will you be my bridesmaid? Will you be my flower girl? Those are pretty popular too. 3, anything with a child, spouse's, or pet's face and name on it. It doesn't matter if it's a coffee mug, magnet, button, t-shirt, or keychain, or phone case. People love to see those that they love on products that they can carry with them throughout the day. 4, t-shirts that say things like proud grandma, grandpa, auntie, with a picture, of the baby or child on there that they can personalize. 5, any drinking accessories, whether it's a child's water cup, an adult water bottle, or a thermal tumbler. Any of those do good. Put a picture and a name on them. Kids like to bring those to like daycare and school and stuff like that so they don't get lost. So there's just a couple examples of some personal items that you can make. Feel free to put some other suggestions below. So number 2, my second tip. Judging by how often I get this, people want their sites to be analyzed to see what products are doing good and what they should be making more of. Trust me, it's better to use some kind of tool to do this than to ask me to look at your site for you. So you can use Zazzle's Insights or their Quick Stats page to go in and see where your traffic is coming from or how many views your product is getting. So to do that, for Quick Stats, you can just click on that and then all this information will come up here. You'll see your likes and views, last sold, quantity sold, and all this information will be right here. If you click on View Insights, then this page will come up and you can click on the last however long you want to look at, the last week, last month, last year. And then you can scroll down and see your insights on your orders and views and stuff like that. You can click on these and see what your earnings were, or your views or orders. And then if you go down here, it'll tell you how many views you've had, like in the last whatever amount of time you picked. I think I picked 365 days, so I had 145 views, and it'll tell you how shoppers found you, like through Zazzle searches, direct or other traffic, Zazzle marketing, Zazzle pages, social media. And it tells you Zazzle brought in 79% of the views. I brought in 21%. And that tells you like the search terms that people use to find your products. And that's really helpful. I like that Zazzle added this page. It's great. Now, if you are trying to really get into stats on your page, these pages probably don't tell you enough. There are sites out there that you can visit to see if they have the info you're looking for. Some of these sites you pay for, like a one-off visit, while others you can subscribe to monthly and keep doing it over and over time. I will post a list of these sites down below that will help you do this. As you all know, I was a beta tester for Snuggle Hamster designs, and they will offer this as one of their premium features. I'm not trying to push this site on you guys, even though I like it and I want people to try it out, of course. But like, I'm not an affiliate. I don't get anything for referring you to it. I'm just simply letting you know that they do have on their site. They have a niche page, and they have a stats page, and I just want to share it with you because I think it'll be helpful. So I'll show you guys really quick how this works on Snuggle Hamster Designs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down here to Royalty History. Go to Export and click on it. And then once it's done downloading, you go back to SHD, and you go right here where it says Import Royalty History. Click on that and then Upload File. And then once that's downloaded, you can scroll down here and go to all times totals. This is old stuff for mine. These totals aren't right anymore. This is only like a couple of my stores. But anyway, it'll show you like all your royalties, how many have been canceled, cleared, pending, actual stuff, how much from this year you've made, this month, your royalties. I love this little chart right here. This is what I was telling you guys earlier, how like this is my time for the holiday store. Most of my sales come from this store right here. So this is only showing a very few fraction of my stores. Biggest one, and then Baby Shower Madness, and you know, it goes from there. And then there's different reports, you know, you can look at your royalty history over time. It just has so much different information in here. And I'll do a video eventually and make it way more detailed, or Jim will, one of us will. But I just wanted to go over this really quick so you can see like how many orders I've had from time for the holidays, and how many royalties I've made. 20,000 in that store alone. In Baby Shower Man is 7,000. I have about 30 stores, so this is just 5 of my stores. But it's really fun to look at this. You can look at your top 10 orders. You know, you can change all this stuff, you know, and see what your most popular items were. You can see your top stores, your bottom stores. You can go to customers. There's just so much you can do on the site. It's incredible. It's really fun to see. You can see like what categories sell really good for you, which departments are the best. Home and living look like is what worked for me. And then there's also going to be a Niche Explorer too on the site. So you can go to Niche Explorer too and, you know, see what it says there. I haven't explored that one much yet, so I don't know too much to tell you about it right now, but it's going to be fun. Jim's always working on the stuff. So it has sale reports and Niche Explorer, so it's just going to be some fun stuff for you guys to look at. And by the way, why I'm telling you about this site, Jim just let me know it's okay to let you guys know that they are going to be going live on Monday. So if you want to try out this site, you can try it out for free. There are premium features too that you can pay for, but everybody can start an agency on the site for free. So go ahead and go to snugglehamster.com and check it out. Again, I'll list all the sites I can find that do all this for you guys down below in the description. So check them all out and see if anything seems like it would help you. Okay, so tip number 3, niche down. This is why I have so many stores on Zazzle. I have a store for each niche, I'm not sure how you say it. I hear everybody say it both ways. I still have some of my earlier stores up, and they are big messes with everything from wedding to baby shower to photography to random art I drew in them. There's no organization, no cover photos, no method of anything in those shops. It's embarrassing, to be honest. But I do still sell things in them, so I don't take them down. But they also help me, because what I've noticed over the years were the things that sold in there, I made a niche out of them. So pay attention to what sells in your stores. Pay attention to hobby, sports, and things that also tend to stay evergreen. For example, I was selling a lot of food-related products, just random Christmas ornaments and buttons and stickers that had pictures of food on them. So I made a store called Foodie Friends. If you notice a trend, fad, or streak of things selling on your store, you might want to open a shop with that theme and have fun making lots of products with that theme. Also, combine niches. Everyone in the world loves cats, right? If you do a search for cat products, hundreds are going to come up. So doing a cat theme collection might not get a lot of attention, but adding it along with another niche might. So like you might want to take like 2 popular niches are cats and beach, right? So maybe make a collection with cats on the beach wearing sunglasses. That might get more attention. Again, Snuggle Hamster Designs is going to have a section about niches, so go ahead and check that out. Listed below are other sites that will also help you find niches that might work for you. It's always the best to, if you know about the niche and know all the terms and nicknames and trends that go along with that niche, that way you can use the best tags and keywords and you'll know all the nicknames and terms. What I mean by that is, say you open a shop called Canine Kisses and your whole shop is going to be about dogs, right? And you're going to want to really niche down in your collections. So you're going to want to research that more. You'll want to research each dog breed you're working on. So when you do a collection for pugs, for example, you can search for nicknames for pug owners, which happens to be a Puggy Wuggy. So the average person who doesn't own a pug isn't going to know that. But someone searching specifically for something cute for a pug owner will. So you will have niched down and found a smaller audience, but one that is looking specifically for what your product says or looks like, and thus a better chance for a sale. Quality versus quantity. So I notice a lot of people who are new on Zazzle will take hours or days to create a product. While quality is surely and obviously important, quantity is too. I expect to get slack for saying this, but it's true in my experience. If I have 100 products in a store, I'm not likely going to sell much. Definitely not as much as I'm selling in my stores with thousands of products. My goal is always to make as many products as I can with each design. If you walk into a little shop and you see a design you like, but it's only on one of their thousands of products, what is the chance that it's the product you need? Say, for example, you like cute little squirrels. So you walk into a shop and there's this adorable little squirrel design, but it's on a popcorn maker. And you're like, well, I already have a popcorn maker. I don't need another popcorn maker, but that squirrel is cute. I wish it was on a coffee mug so I could buy it. So make sure that when you make a design or a photo or whatever it is that you're putting on a product, that you make a lot of products with that design and then make that a collection. That way, if somebody sees a design that they like and they just don't have a lot of money, they can be like, oh, I'm going to buy stickers, or, you know, I'm going to buy a magnet or a coffee mug, or, and also make sure to put that stuff on higher end products too, like cornhole boards or whatever, because there are people that shop and, you know, there's going to be people that have more money and people that have less money. So just think of that when you make a collection. You want to have low price items and you want to have high price items and everything in the middle. Another analogy I like to use with this, and I'm sorry, I know I've said this to so many of you guys and you've probably heard this a couple times now, but for those who haven't, picture a sandbox full of sand. Somebody walks by and throws a handful of sand into it. That handful of sand will just disappear into that big box of sand, right? You probably can't even point out where that sand just landed. But now picture somebody walking by, throws a big bucket of sand into that sandbox. It's obvious where that sand landed. It will be more noticeable. So think of your Zazzle products of pieces of sand in a big sandbox. You want as many pieces in there as possible so they will be seen. I can go even further into this analogy and picture somebody walking by and now scooping out a handful of sand. What are the chances pieces of your sand will be in that handful? The more sand you put in, the more chances they will have some of your sand in their hand. Now think of that handful of sand, a Google or Zazzle search. When a person searches for a product, is your product going to come up in the search? If you have one product, unless it's really, really niche down, probably not. But if you have several items in your store related to that search term, then there's a much better chance. And the more eyes on your product, the more chances of sales. Okay, so tip number 5. Get your products out there. I feel like my products just disappear once published on Zazzle into the abyss. So make sure to get them into the public view by sharing them everywhere. My favorite is Pinterest, but I share on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, on blogs, anywhere I can think to. I know this part can be a pain. I don't like doing it either. And it's really hard to push your products like on your own personal Facebook page. It can be embarrassing. But you can make a page for your print-on-demand shops and promote them there. You can also join other Zazzle groups and follow other creators on Twitter or Instagram or TikTok and share each other's works. Find your community, because I've found that the artist, writing, and photography communities love to support each other. So share their work and they're likely to share yours. And again, more eyes are going to be on your products then. And I know blogging went out of style like a decade ago, but I still do it on my free little blogging platform, because when I check Google Analytics, most of the traffic that goes to my Time for the Holidays blog came from Pinterest, like a big chunk of it. Plus, Blogger is free to do, and it's super easy to pin your blog posts and bring traffic into your blog, where they will also see your Zazzle products. It's also fun and therapeutic to blog about something you love. I literally started my Time for the Holidays blog to distract me from my health issues that were going on, to give me something positive to think about and look forward to doing throughout the day. And though it was not my intention at all at the time to sell anything on the blog, here it is years later, my biggest selling products on Zazzle. Tip number 6. I know this is the most frustrating part of print on demand, but you have to give it time. Print on demand is not a quick fix for any income situation. For most, it will just be a fun hobby to share your art and photos or whatever it is that you create, and then just, make some passive income here and there. Many, if not most of us, need money as in now. There's rent to pay, food to put in the cabinets, bills to pay. You all get it. Sadly, I don't think there is any get-rich-now schemes that work on Zazzle or any print-on-demand company, despite what you might see claimed on some videos. But that being said, still watch those videos. The way YouTube is set up, you have to put these weird-looking, look-at-me thumbnails on videos to get people's attention and for YouTube to show them to you, at least according to what I've read on YouTube. I'm sure each video does have some useful info inside of it, but just don't think you will become rich overnight, or you'll make $5,000 in your first month on Zazzle, because likely you won't. I wish that for everybody, don't get me wrong. I wish everybody would make that. But honestly, print on demand takes a lot of work, and it's a long time before you start seeing the money you were hoping for rolling in. That is the hardest part for people. It takes so much time for that to start happening. If I'm being completely honest, each time I make a product, I expect it to be around a year before that product takes off. And not every product will. Only a handful of your products that you make will sell consistently, but you never know which products those will be, so keep on making products. And I'm not saying anything you make will take a year to sell. I have made a product and had it sell the next day once it became public. But I'm just saying, that is the average of what I notice in my shops. For example, you know how I showed you that my Time for the Holiday shop gets the most sales? Well, a couple years ago, I almost gave up on it, because I thought, man, I'm not making any sales, and I'm putting so much time and energy into my Time for the Holiday site and the Zazzle products. Nobody's ever going to buy a National Broccoli Day button, right? But here we are a year later, and it's my most popular shop. So don't give up. I have sold buttons in bulk. You wouldn't even believe the amounts of money I've made on some of these silly daily holidays. That's because if it's a health awareness day, hospitals buy them in bulk. If it's any kind of activism or equality button, companies will buy them for their employees. Restaurants will buy them for their waiters and waitresses to wear. Bartenders will wear like it's Margarita Day, things like that. And they buy them in bulk. So, you might sell stuff and be like, oh, I only made 10 cents a day. But in the long run, you're going to make some bulk sales, and it's going to add up. And I know a year seems so far away, and you will sell items here and there in between, of course. But time goes fast, and before you know it, you're going to be making more consistent sales. And for the shops that had their sales drop dramatically in the last year, and I don't know what to say, I hardly know what to even tell you. I experienced a lot of that too. And just lately it felt like it was starting to pick up again, so it gave me some hope. So I hope it does for everyone else too, and I hope that the trend of being able to sell more continues. I think this leads to my very last tip for today. Make sure not to put all your eggs in one basket. Make sure to do lots of POD sites. Try out different things. Amazon merch, TeePublic, Redbubble, Society6, whatever it is, Spreadshirt. You know, try to all the different sites and see, because your products might work better on one site than another. In fact, if you're having success on other sites, tell us below in the comments, you know, what your favorite POD sites are, what your stores are, and, you know, what works well for you. I'd really be interested in hearing that, so would everybody else. My best by far has been Zazzle. I'm on lots and lots of POD sites, but Zazzle is definitely my favorite and where I've had the most success. But it's always nice to get an unexpected sale here and there on Fine Art, TeePublic, or Redbubble. And now my YouTube has been monetized, so you can actually see the products I've made on my Spreadshirt store under this video. It's pretty cool. I didn't even know YouTube did that. I've never noticed that on other videos. I guess I'm not very perceptive sometimes, but it just happened like last week, so I'm really excited to see that. And it was funny because I forgot I even had a Spreadshirt store until YouTube told me I could hook it up. So I went to sign up for an account, and I already had like items in there and everything. God, I just have so many POD shops now. So anyway, you know, if you have a YouTube channel or, you know, you're monetized or whatever, that's just one more way to advertise your stuff. So anyway, those are my tips for today. Again, not professional at anything over here, not a consultant, not a marketer. Just someone who is doing okay on Zazzle right now and that wants to help all of you guys. So I hope some of this advice will help you. Let me know down below your own tips. I'm totally aware that I do things differently than a lot of the other more popular YouTubers that do print on demand. I'm not overly organized. I've not used a lot of programs to give me advice on tagging and keywords and all that stuff. I'm just discovering some of that stuff now. But I think there are different ways of reaching success, and each person has to find their own way to do that. So we can learn a little bit from everyone who is out there trying to teach us all how to do this and how to apply what feels right for us in our own lives. And hopefully by using this advice along with your own gut instincts on what's right for you, you can eventually become successful too. That's what I wish for all of you. Happy Zazzling.